welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News. I know we're doing a little remotely today. Jack is in the hospital. Hopefully, he should be released tomorrow. Thinking about my buddy there, so he's not here today. So let's go on with our marketing partners. No pizza tonight, so I'm sad. It's a GAC, Great American Company. I think this guy's been with us for several years now. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. They usually provide pizza every night at the show there at Langley Speedway for us. Appreciate those guys. Factory Canopies, Fluid Logic, Todd and Andrea. Really appreciate all they've done for us. VA 811, come back on this year. Call before you dig. Slinger Speed, if you're looking for a local guy to do some t-shirts and racing apparel merchandise stuff, hit Tim over there at Slinger Speed. The show is presented by Gen X Racing. Really got to thank those guys. And I'm drawing a blank. I see his mother or something or another passed away the other day. Thoughts and prayers goes out to them. Gen X Racing Driver Development and Race Rental Program based in Virginia Beach. Go all over. We got to thank Black Acid Racing Apparel. We got some new shirts coming. Really got to thank those guys. Been with us for a long time and have done a lot for us. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. If you're looking for some help with social media, press releases, I mean, the list goes on. Tanya can help you out. Mayhem Management, if you're looking for a local girl to help you out at Langley Speedway, Erin Goodman is the man. She will hook you up. Tell her that Jack and Scott sent you. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. One day Jack's gonna go get us some more product and we can do some I don't know, maybe give some ways or something or another. Got to thank Langley Speedway for allowing us to do the show at Langley Speedway. It really has become home for us. So it's been really nice. Performance Plus Motor Oil, Safety Clean. I believe they do some stuff at Langley Speedway. I know they do stuff at every cup race. GRIER and Associates. I think GRIER and Associates with Mean Dean Automotive in Moyock, North Carolina. Looks like Dean and them are having a good time. Looks like they were in Vegas all week. I hope you got used to the heat because it's going to be a little hot this weekend. Let's see who else we got. Turn 2 Synthetics. If you're looking for one of your local Amsoil dealer, hit Hunter Waltrip up. Hunter is one of the local Amsoil independent dealers. Waltrip Pressure Washing Solutions. If you need your house pressure washed, hit Hunter up. He'll tell you a couple jokes and pressure wash your house. With that, I'd say usually we go to the news. What's up, Justin? We're here for the Wacky Wednesday drivers. Let's go. Well, good. But Jack's not here with the news. I know I could go over Langley Speedway. Jack's usually does all this. Winner of the Parts Barn. What's up, Justin? Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. Parts Barn, Charlie Bryant. I know that's unusual, right? Charlie Bryant. Oh, Shane lost me. 1 second. Hello? Hey, man. Okay. Whatever is easiest for you. When you click. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. All right, just give me a minute. Shane Laws. Having a little problem with the link there. So we'll get there. Let me send. Send him a link to the show. Let's try this again. Mr. Shane Laws. Shane. Where is Shane? There we are. So we'll see if Shane can get on. So first we got Shane Laws, and then we're going to have Josh. Then we got Bear, my buddy Bear. Oh, I thought you were saying SMH, Jack. He's like from Southampton. I know, right, Chris? Can you believe that? See, Hunter's always got my back. He said I'm doing a great job. I don't know if you can believe everything Hunter says, but Charlie Bryant won the Parts Barn Enduro race this weekend, or last weekend. And man, Travis Wall got in a little trouble, and somebody else won a Pro 6 race at Weiss. I mean, it was so cool to see how excited he is. He's much better comedian than he is a race car driver. Although he's getting pretty good at race car driving and stuff. At Weiss, man, how cool was it to see somebody else win, right? Regardless of the circumstance, and then see the excitement on Atlee's face. And you know, he is usually pretty calm and collective. But man, it was way cool to see the excitement, him and his family and Spotter, you know, way cool, right? So congratulations to Atlee Weiss to do something I haven't done, won a Pro 6 race. Race number 1 of the Smith Wraps and Graphics Virginia Racers, Jacob Derrick back to victory lane. Race number 2 is Cody Bryant finally found. Did he win the first race this year? I don't think he's won a race yet. Brian Coffert, what's up, Brian? Brian, we got to get you and damn, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, I will get you. Modified race, Matt Carter, super surprise. Great run for Chase Burrows and Riley Music, running for second. That was a good race put on by those guys. Exciting to see some of these young guns in the race. The ground pounders. Shane might be on something here. What's up, Grier? What's up, Brandy? Cody has 3 wins this year. Okay. You just got to get your camera on Shane. Sometimes you might have to turn it on and your microphone, but Shane's getting close. The ground pounders, Southern ground pounders, which was probably really neat. Chris Hicks. Don't know Chris, but looks like he's got a Pinto. Working on sprint cars. So that's Langley Speedway's news. Anyway, and man, who is everybody's choice to think's going to win the Hampton Heat? I'm curious if anybody is going to go against the 77. Like, I mean, he's won them all this year, right? I mean, who is going to rival or maybe dethrone him? And I am kind of glad. I mean, Jack, we plan on having Connor on the show, and he's not this week, so that he can't blame us if something were to happen. Who won the truck race? I didn't even see the truck race up here, but I know Hunter Waltrip won. Or maybe I didn't scroll far enough. Oh, I didn't scroll far enough. I'm sorry. I missed a couple people, Brad. Hunter Waltrip, after, man, having a rough couple earlier weeks with other problems. Last week, I guess, was a transmission issue or motor issue. But whatever. And Chris Bechtel, what about a P2 for Chris Bechtel, man? Good. Donna Brown, third. Chase Adams, fourth. Page, P5. Then 12. Then we got the bandos. And see, I can't. Jack usually does this. I don't usually have to do it. Let's see. Brian Runstrom Jr. in his win. Let's see if Shane has a mic going on. Oh, no, Shane ain't got nothing. Have to contact you. Connect their mic before you can add them. Shane, somehow you got to add your mic in your. Although, does your phone not have, being it's what have you? I know Shane was at the racetrack earlier. He was planning to be at the track with us, but under circumstances, Chris Bechtel said he barely, but he said, Hunter said an inch is an inch. Ask his ex. Brad says driver of the week needs to be Chris Bechtel. I don't think Chris got the votes this week, though. Y'all didn't put him up. Looks like Shane got away. So Shane, his phone might not have a mic and a camera. What's up, Eddie? I don't know. Should we announce who driver of the week is already? You could probably say that driver of the week was Atlee Weiss this week. Dethroned Travis Wall in a Pro 6. So Atlee Weiss is our driver of the week this week. What a great little kid. He ain't really becoming a little kid anymore, right? So, yeah. Atlee Weiss, driver of the week. And I'm sure we will get some stuff going. I think here we got Shane. Shane Laws.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good. Do you not have a camera and a microphone on that phone? No, that's what I was just thinking when it would come up. All right, well, I'll just turn you on speakerphone and we can do it that way.
Okay.
All right. All right, hang on.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
I'll put you in here on the mic and we'll do it. All right, we got Shane Laws on the phone. If I had one of those goofy pictures, I would probably put you up here, but I don't have one on my phone there or on my screen there, Shane.
Yeah, I don't think I have any goofy pictures.
Oh yeah, I think that's all you got. So Shane, you're back at the helm at Langley Speedway. How what's it been like, and what's going on with you?
It's great. Bill called me and asked me to come in and do a few races. Jeff Bowen is probably going to do 80% of the race directing at Langley. I'm coming back in kind of like Keith is on the tech side, and I'm going to take care of the staffing, take care of the week-to-week, who's got to be where, who's in, who's out, then help Keith with the rules, as we need to. And then Bill asked me to do the Hampton Heat because you also got to have a strong flagman, and Jeff Bowen is strong in both areas. He's strong in the flag stand, he's strong in the tower, so he's going to go in the flag stand just because it's such a big race, and I'll be in the tower, and it's just going to be a good weekend. So I'm just here to help Bill because, I love Langley Speedway, and we're just going to have a good time.
What a great race to come back to, right?
Oh, tell me, man. It's an honor, to work the big races like this, the Hampton Heat and any of the other shows, especially the Triple Crown races. I get the pleasure of doing Martinsville also, the third leg of the Triple Crown. So it's just going to be a great weekend. It looks like the temperature is not going to be as bad. It looks like it's going to be in the 80s instead of the 100s.
Oh, really? Okay. That's good.
Looks like right now we've got 33 cars signed up. There'll probably be a few more sign up as it gets closer to the weekend. But what all do you want me to go over? Friday or Saturday, or won't you just ask some questions?
Well, I mean, what's the schedule like this weekend? So you got Friday. What's the schedule for Friday, and then kind of how's that going to roll over into Saturday? And what's that like? So
Friday's going to be we're going to make it a little more racer friendly. We're not going to open up at 11. We're going to open up at 2 o'clock. That way teams can travel on Friday morning and not have to get hotel rooms on Thursday night. We're going to open at 2 o'clock. Just get everybody parked, start mounting tires, practice from 4 to 8:30. That kind of puts the practice time back
to a race time.
Back in, to like qualifying time and race time. And really in the past, the only reason it switched over the past few years was the track crew had maintenance to do, whether we were striping the track or doing trash or whatever. So they graciously agreed to do stuff after practice, and then the striping of the racetrack will probably happen Saturday morning early before we come in. But pretty much it's an 8-tire race. All 8 tires will be issued on Friday. The 4 practice tires that go out, you can bring in all the practice tires you want, but the only 4 tires that you'll be able to use during the race for emergency tires are the 4 practice tires purchased on Friday.
And what if you don't use them on Friday? You still can use them on Saturday?
You can still use them as your emergency tires only. An emergency tire means during the race it's got to be flat on the rim. You can't come in and then all of a sudden have a flat in the pits and change the tire. It's got to be on the rim. And then at the break, well, one thing, when I have the crew chief meeting on Friday at 3:30 before we go to practicing, they'll all know that when the haulers have to leave the pit area on Saturday, all tires have to leave with the exception of the four practice tires. So everything else will be gone.
So you can't get race day tires until race day.
Right.
Okay.
We'll mount them on Friday, but they'll be impounded until 2 o'clock on Saturday. Okay. And then once the practice ends at 2 o'clock, because late model practice is from 12:15 to 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, we'll release the qualifying tires, so the tire specialists have time to work them on the car and purge them, change air to nitrogen if they want to, and get them on the car. And then we'll go in at 3:30. We'll start doing tech, and then start qualifying at 4:30. Then the cars will be impounded in their pit area. One thing we're going to do different this year, at 4:15, we're going to take and have everybody move all the tents just out of the pit stalls. So when you come in from qualifying, everybody can back in at a 45. So we don't have to hold them and then move them again. Everybody will back on in at a 45. And then at 7 o'clock will be the final work session for the late models. Regular racing, the divisional racing will start at 6:30. Okay. And then at 7 to 7:30 will be the final late model stock car work session. We'll have a halfway break at lap 100, and when the caution comes out at lap 100, we'll get the lineup correct, take care of the free pass, ride around for a couple laps, make sure that there's no flats or anything. Then we'll come down pit road, double file. You won't go to your pit stall, and you can't change tires. If you want to swap a tire front to rear, it's fine, or side to side, it's fine. You can do that if you like. But if you want to take a tire off, an official's got to be standing there, and there'll be no tires allowed out where the cars are. Your 4 emergency tires will have to stay in your pit area. So, just keeps anybody, and then if you happen to have a flat after we come in, then that car will sit there till the green flag drops, and then you can back the car to your pit area, change the tire. So it's basically a 5 to 6 lap penalty, and then you're ineligible for the free pass or the cone for the rest of the event. If you have a flat while you're in the pits. It just keeps anybody from playing games with tires. And Langley hadn't had a tire issue in a while. Right. So, and that's really it. We're going to have a good weekend. We got some out-of-town inspectors coming, along with the new inspector, Roger Sawyer, that's in the tech shed, and Charlie Hill that's moved over there. So it's just going to be a good night. And he's pretty good at knowing what's on race cars, right? Oh yeah, Roger Sawyer's Roger Sawyer's good. He actually built our team in 1987. He built us a grand stock, and we finished second that year. But he's been through every division. He's a pretty smart man. Yeah. Yeah. From Cup on down, right? I mean, he's been everywhere.
So
Yeah.
on Friday, I seen that you said that, or you had posted, or the racetrack had posted, you can do tech early. Now, what does that mean? So somebody can just kind of get a lay and make sure that the car is going to pass?
Yeah. We'll have 2 inspectors in the tech shed. Tech is optional. I put the post out there as optional tech. Tread width, wheelbase, crank height, body panels. All that's optional. You know, a lot of guys like to suck in at the right rear quarter panel or flatten the doors. We'll have the inspectors walking around the pit area too, just telling teams, hey, look, you need to work on this so it's not an issue at qualifying when pre-tech starts at qualifying. So the tech shed will be open for optional tech, optional carburetor checks. You know, but we try not to make it mandatory like at Martinsville, just because of timing. You know, we have a shorter day on Saturday, and we don't want to burn up any time that we could give the teams to practice. So it's pretty much optional. You know, we have a little bit more time, you know, an extra time allotted in because it would come in earlier. You know, in Martinsville, it would come in at 6 o'clock in the morning and we're ready to go by 7. You know, we're not going to open up Saturday till 11 at the racetrack. So it lets the teams rest from Friday, you know, it being so hot. It gives them a chance to rest and get up and go to breakfast if they want to, or whatever they want to do on Saturday morning, and it's not such a rush. So, you know, the 4 hours that we would normally have for tech, like at Martinsville, we give that back to the teams to rest on Saturday morning.
Yeah, and I kind of like that, Shane, because, I mean, look, I mean, you've been on both sides of the fence, right? If you give us an extra 10 minutes, we're going to need 20 minutes, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I don't care how much practice you give us, and I don't know how the dirt guys do it. You know, some of them don't even get practice, so they get 5 laps, and that's all they get, and they do a decent show. I mean, I used to talk about that with you know, arena racing. We used to get 3 or 4 practices, and then, you know, as much practice you give us, the more things we're going to try.
Absolutely. And, you know, I love the tech at Martinsville. It's fun. You know, we do all that, but that's one of the reasons, you know, there's been some positives and some negatives, and it's okay. You're going to have that with everything. That's the reason that Keith and I chose to post all the inspection items early, exactly what's going to happen, so it's no surprises. You know, we don't want any wheelbase, we don't want any tread width, we definitely don't want any shock issues. You know, so I'd be really surprised if there's any issues in tech on Saturday. We pretty much showed our hand of exactly what we're going to check, from cams all the way to the rear end. So I think it's just going to be a great day. Now,
how can I ask this? These are not the only items that you're ever going to check, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, there's a few people.
We're going to look at everything, but these are the biggest items. The items we posted are the biggest performance enhancing items that you can do.
Okay.
To assist you for the day. So
you're just trying to nip those in the bud to begin with.
Right. Wheelbase, tread width, the cams, shocks, the cambered rear ends, you know, the slugs in the front of the trailing arms, you know, they have to be the same on both sides. You know, we want to make sure if somebody don't have a slug with a round hole in it versus on the other side, a slug with a slot in it.
Right. Trying to get a little skew out.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to have no issues. I think it's going to be. I've pretty much called every team like I always do, you know, or sent them a text saying, hey, you know, look, make sure this is right. You know, I'm not saying it is wrong on your car. I'm just saying let's just make sure it's right. Let's have a good day. Let's end the day right at the end of tech. And, you know, Keith's got a good staff put together for the tech shed for inspection. So, you know, we got, you know, things that help the tower also. We got flow racing, you know, replays. I'm also going to have a spotter, an official spotter in every turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, every turn somebody's going to be there. You know, just in case something happens. You know, I want to be able to, if I need to, I want to be able to call somebody and say, hey, look, you know, this is what I've seen. What do you see? That way we're checking every area. I just want it to be a great event.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it generally always is, right? I mean, and we all want it to be a great race. And we want a lot of, and this seems to be a pretty good field this year. I think last year didn't run quite as many cars, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 26, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, and I think tires had a lot to do with it.
Mm.
You know, tires not being available and teams traveling, not wanting to use up what little bit of practice tires they did have. You know, tires are more readily available, and I don't think you can pinpoint one thing against a racetrack or a competitor. I think it was just the timing of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was Hoosier's deal. That really wasn't the rate. You know, how much tires the racetrack's got doesn't have anything to do with the racetrack. It's how much they can get, right? I mean, they would love to sell all the tires they could get. So if they could get more, they'd sell more. You know, they'd make more money.
Yeah, and you know, one of the reasons that we did an 8-tire event was because that keeps the cost down. You know, racing is expensive, and everybody knows that. You know, the only way to save money in racing is don't race.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, it don't matter what you race, all the way from a hobby car, you know, all the way to a late model. It's just as expensive any division you're in.
Oh, for sure. And Jack just posted, he wants to know, you already got some pretty socks picked out, or has Mom already got you some socks picked out for Saturday?
Yep, I posted that last night on Facebook.
Oh, did
Mama's already got me my stuff out and ready to go, and she's got me a change of clothes because it's gonna be hot. So anyway, I'll probably change clothes, and you know.
Is she gonna drive the truck again, or she retired?
No, she's driving the caution truck Saturday night. Dave Terrell is out of town. He's in Hawaii on business.
Oh,
so
wow.
So anyway, I got to be careful how much I fuss at the pace truck driver or holler, speed up, and slow down. You know, because
you might want to put a governor on it.
Yeah, no. She does a good job in the caution truck. That's why you know, Langley's probably got the best of the best officials, and then we've also got some traveling in officials. Jackie Lawson is coming in, and Robert Turner's coming in, you know, to help us. And like I say, we got Roger, and then Charlie Hill is moving over to the tech shed. So I figure that's covered. And then our record services, our safety department, you know, I don't know. It's pretty awesome, and it's pretty much an honor to be able to come to Langley and call a race because, you know, it's got everything.
Yeah. And I think you can't do better than you got Roger and Keith coming back, or, you know, coming to Langley Speedway. Those guys are very knowledgeable on race cars. And I think that adds a lot of depth so far as the tech shed side of it, for people, you know, feeling like that things can be slipped by, and I don't think you're gonna get much by Roger or Keith.
No, you know, that's a good team, and then you know, it's just a good team. And I'm gonna tell you, me and Keith, we've been best friends for about 40 years now, and I don't think we've ever had an argument. And it's pretty cool getting to come back to the racetrack and, you know, hang out with your best friend too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I gotta ask, is this kind of tough coming back when, you and Justin are friends, and Justin worked under you, and under the circumstances, that make it kind of tough?
It does, but Justin and I have talked, and you know, he understands, and he's good. And you know, it's like I told him. I said, you know, prior to anything happening, you know, I said, if you ever get in a bind, I'll come support you. I'll call a race if you need me to. If you got to leave and do something. And you know, same thing I told Bill, you know, 3 years ago, and when I left. You know, I told him, I said, look, I'm here. I love Langley. If you need me, I'll come in. And, you know, even when I wasn't working every week, when Dave Terrell was out, my wife was still driving the caution truck. So I'd come out and hang out in the caution truck. So it's nice. But Justin and I've talked, and look, you can't discount anything that Justin has done at the racetrack or anything he's done at a safety team. Look at how when a caution comes out and the safety team rolls out on the racetrack and they stage the area. I mean, it's just.
And you got to give Justin a lot of credit for that, right? Because, I mean, Justin kind of put those plans in place, right?
Absolutely. And, I mean, I plan on Justin working at, any of the other shows he wants to with me, just as he has in the past. So it was a good team, and it is a good team now, So just anyway, I don't think there's any issues there, Like I say, me and Justin's talk, and he understands. I understand. It's all about the racers and getting the race in and doing good tech, and then everybody going home. Hopefully, everybody goes home with at least some kind of smile on their face. Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can't. But some of the races may not. You never know what'll happen. I mean, you know how that is, and that's part of racing, right? I look forward to a great show. I'll be there this weekend. Hopefully Jack will be feeling better and he can be there and with me. And so good. So Shane, I appreciate you coming on and giving us kind of some insight on, the plan for the weekend. And we look forward to having a great show and a great Hampton Heat and second part of the Triple Crown. And hey, it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and if I could leave everybody with one final word, start hydrating today.
Yeah.
Don't wait till Friday night or Saturday morning to start hydrating. Start hydrating today. Everybody from the racers, pit crew members, to the officials, I've already texted all the officials and told them, hey, y'all start hydrating.
Absolutely.
Because even if it's 83, 84 degrees, it's still hot. It's still a long day, but the way the weather looks now, at least it's not going to be heat index of 100, 102, or 3 like it has been in the past.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But thank y'all for having me on the show, and I appreciate Bill Mullis and Langley Speedway and everybody there giving me the opportunity again to come back and do work. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Friday around 2 o'clock, and we'll get some practice in, and then we will go into Saturday and have a good day. And thank you, Scott. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, thank you, Shane. See you, buddy. I'll see you Saturday.
All right, take care.
All right, buddy. Bye. I got to thank Shane Laws for kind of giving us an update on this weekend for Hampton Heat, man. It's a big weekend, man. And I'm still curious, is anybody picking anybody else besides the 77 for this weekend? I mean, I don't know how you go against him, right? I mean, he's undefeated. And Jack says, yes, Lord, hydrate, because Jack fell out last year. He probably don't want nobody to know that. So don't tell anybody. Fell out last year. We had to pick him up, give him a little water. We had to make it home. I had to call him because my phone was blowing up. Oh, Robin sucked 03. That's right. Love it. Man, the Langley Speedway guys are representing the car store, man. And, man, Butterbean, man, is making a hell of a name for himself, right? So with that, let's get Josh on here. Wacky Wednesday guy, right? What's up, Josh? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. So you race on Wacky Wednesdays. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and what division you're running in and doing.
Yeah, so I just kind of went there a few times and started watching some Wacky Wednesday guys. And, I started out as a fan, and I've always had a passion for cars. I've always loved cars, so that's not changed at all. But then I was like, man, I really want to get down there on the track. So I started out, I actually took my wife's car because she had the faster car at the time.
You really took your wife's car the first time?
Yeah, so I had it was a Hyundai Kona N. So they're little crossover SUVs, about 300 horsepower. But it performed really well. It was actually surprising. I think I won 3 or 4 Wacky Wednesdays with that car. I won more with that than I did this. People always underestimated that car because I was a little SUV. So people were like, "Oh, what is this little Hyundai Kona out here doing?" But
did the wife agree, or did you just take and say, "Hey, I want to race in your car"?
Yeah, she didn't disagree at first. Really blessed. You know,
It
she
was a
let me
little
take
gray
it out there.
area, Josh.
What's that?
I said it sounded like it was a little gray area.
Yeah, it was a little gray area, and then it kind of got worse as time went on, and you know, a few other cars would, you know, be really pushing their cars to the limits a little bit, and you know, you hit a wall where you see another car hit another car every once in a while. You know, it's not an often thing that happens, but it does happen. So, and that is her daily car. So we're like, you know, it's best to not risk that car right now.
Yeah, I
So
would
that's when I ended up getting the Integra and building it.
Yeah, I would hate to have to go home and explain that to the wife that you done wrecked her car at the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, and coincidentally enough, you know, it is a 2022, and it's been in 2 major accidents out on the street by people hitting us. So it's actually in the body shop right now from, you know, from us getting rear-ended.
Oh wow.
And so, you know, it'll probably be 6 months or so till we get that back. But
So how did you learn about Wacky Wednesday? Did you used to come to the racetrack, or were you kind of a fan at first? Is that what you said?
Trying to think of how I even heard about it. I think maybe Facebook or something. And then I just went out there and started watching. Actually, it might have been hearing it through I go to all the drift events.
Okay.
So I think just maybe maybe I ran into somebody or heard about it through that. And that's when I started following Langley a lot more. So I could have saw it on Facebook or something.
How long have you been racing out on Wednesdays?
This is my 2nd year.
Okay.
So not that long.
Hey man, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Absolutely.
Yeah. So then, do you have aspirations to maybe go on Saturday night racing, or are you just really enjoying doing the Wacky Wednesday stuff?
I more want to get into HDPE, so more full course road racing, like VIR, Pittsburgh International Raceway, and tracks like that, the 4 to 5 mile courses.
Okay. Have you done any of that yet, or?
Not yet. So that's what I've been building this car for. And, you know, Wacky Wednesday is a great way. You know, it's $15. You can go out there and test the car out. You know, I can, you know, make some changes on the car and see how it performs. And, you know, I'm using this whole season to really, you know, get the car to how I feel like it'll be good. And then actually take it to a course. And then instead of it traveling 4.5 hours away to get to a track, to it breaking.
Right. Yeah, well, I think at the end of the year, and I think in the beginning of the year, I think Dominion has a big endurance road race thing. I know a couple of friends of mine have done it the last couple of races.
Yeah, Dominion does have a HDB type racing, and I think Autocross has what they call track cross or something like that. I started getting into some SCCA stuff.
Okay.
Not really a big fan of the whole going through the cones, but you know, it's seat time. So it's learning a different type of driving. You know, you're not just turning left the whole time. So.
Yeah. So where are you based out of?
I live in Yorktown.
Okay. And is that thing wrapped? So you got it wrapped?
Yeah.
Is that? Okay.
Yeah, it's wrapped. It's motor swapped. It's all run on Haltech.
So what are you doing, the time attacks? I haven't been out there on Wednesday, so I don't know. I know everybody's explaining it to us, and 10 minutes later, I couldn't tell you. I know there's time attacks, and then I guess you got to, negotiate your spaces if somebody's faster than you or you're faster than whatever that works.
Yeah, so you have your time attacks. Usually it's 3 laps. The first lap is your hot lap, your warm up lap, and then you actually have your 2 timed laps after that. And then it goes into the 1v1s. And the first race, you just pair up with whoever you want. You know, kind of negotiate what your car lengths are. And that's really the hardest part is figuring out a good distance to, you know, negotiate cars, especially when you have, you know, cars that are more capable than others. You know, you have to figure out, all right, do I give you 8 cars or do we going to be heads up? You know, so there's it does take a little bit of time, especially when you first get out there. So any new drivers that go out there, we really get it to, work for everybody. Because at the end of the day, we want that at the end of the race to be, be as close as possible for the fans and, just have a good time. We're not out there winning big bucks or anything. So, it's all just for fun. So anybody who comes out there, even if you don't want to race against somebody, I tell people just come out, bring your car. You can run around the track for, the time trials and just to get some laps in and have some good experiences.
So after time attacks, then you have to go find somebody to race against. The racetrack doesn't put that together?
Correct. Yeah, you actually have to find the first race. And then after that first race, you have your winner goes to the A main bracket, and then the loser goes to the B main bracket. And that area, you don't actually get to decide who you go against next. It's just kind of how it all falls into place after that. And it's just bracket style until the end.
So then you're going back to judging car lengths from one another or negotiating, right?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of back and forth sometimes. It gets a little competitive and heated out there. Every once in a while, you got somebody yelling after a race, "I told you it should have been 5 car lengths." Now
look, now in the first 3 laps, do you sandbag a little bit? You don't have to.
I'd be pushing this car as hard as I can every time. I mean, I can't say that nobody else does sandbag, especially when after race. Sometimes somebody will come up to me like, I did sandbag a little bit, but at least they're honest with me.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I wonder is there a rule against that? So like if you ran this time and it was so much if there's a certain big difference.
Yeah. I mean, the time attacks, it's really hard to put that into the time attacks versus the 1v1s because some cars from a dig can launch a lot faster than others. You have your all-wheel drive cars, so they may be slower in the time attack, but they could beat you in a 1v1 heads up. If you're or standard staggered, if you're doing 1v1s because they can launch and get to that speed faster.
Now, are you allowed to run stagger in your tires, bigger tires on the right side to get it to turn a little bit better for?
Yeah, there's no limitations as far as that goes. This year, there's no tire limits. Next year, we've been talking about running 200 treadwear tires to kind of limit all the faster cars.
Boo Boo just said yes.
What's that?
Boo Boo Dalton just said yes.
Yeah, so
maybe there is. And then Justin said you avoid his truck because his truck is too fast.
No, what? Sorry, repeat that again.
Justin, he said you avoid his truck because his truck is too fast.
Yeah, it's so fast.
He's already
yeah. So and tires play a big part in track circle race. Well, really any racing. Mm-hmm. So some guys out there have Hoosiers, and some guys have I always run 200 treadwear tires. So I'm pretty much pushing the limits of the tire. And it kind of makes it a little bit more of a fair race, a little bit more skill, I would say, until, of course, Hoosiers can fall off. But, you put a Hoosier on any car and it's going to make it faster. So I really look forward to next year because that's going to be really interesting to see all these cars with the same, 200 or higher treadwear. And, I think that'll make for I think really the top 6 cars are going to be really, really close because it's going to come down to, any small mistake that you make out there on the track.
How many cars will they have? So how many cars will be racing throughout the night?
I believe we have anywhere between 30 to 60 cars, I would say.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a decent amount of cars that come out and, trying to get more cars out there. We need to get more fans out there. Mm-hmm. It's especially for guys that are getting into racing or just want to go out there. It's a good feeling. You look up, you see some fans out there. So, hopefully we can get some more people out there, more people aware of what Wacky Wednesday is. And it is just a bunch of crazy cars. Some cars are crazy builds. Some people are building their cars for just left-hand turns, or they do their alignment. I just run square alignment, and I don't really mess with that too much, but it gets interesting, that's for sure.
In other words, you don't have to cheat to win, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not the fastest car out there, so I can't say anything until I'm consistently the fastest car out there. But I don't know if we'll know that until next year who really the fastest cars are. We're all running the same tires.
So who helped you on the car? Is it just you?
Yeah. So I built this car over the winter. I had the motor built in Florida, and then they shipped it up, and then I put it in. Same with the trans. The trans is built in Florida as well.
No slouch machine then, huh?
No. It's. I mean, I give credit to the guys that go out there, and they be having to change all these different things on their motor. I'm not there yet. This motor has around 700 miles on it, so it's still fresh, and it's been street tuned. I've been tuned it all on the street with my buddy down in South Florida. So shout out to Hobby Tuned. He hooked me up and got me running right.
Ain't it supposed to have an inspection sticker on it to run? Is that a rule?
Yeah, inspection stickers unless you're antique.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if you have antique plates up, you don't have inspection stickers.
I was gonna say, because I don't see an inspection sticker on that thing.
No, it has antique plates.
I love the rules.
Yeah, and also people can come down, and if they can pay the $15, and they can actually go in the pits and walk around and look at the cars after they're racing or before they race, and actually sit with all the drivers, and you get to kind of hear a little of the commotion, and there's some grudges that happen out there, which is always good. It always makes for more exciting racing.
100%. Yeah. Justin said that Integra is a work of art. I definitely got to come out. Me and Jack's both got to come out on a Wednesday sometime and just see what it's like and meet everybody. And we got to start trickling some of you guys in during the show to give you a little shout out. I mean, hey,
yeah.
That's it. You always got to start somewhere and end up somewhere else. Move on to something. And the more people we can kind of get in the sport, the healthier the sport will be, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Justin, we appreciate some time tonight, man. Good luck next week or tomorrow. You running tomorrow? Are y'all running tomorrow or no?
I'm not gonna be running tomorrow, but I'll be there. So I'll have the car there. I might have somebody else drive it. I don't know. We'll see.
I was gonna say. So Justin's right. You're scared. You're not gonna bring it tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna bring the car tomorrow. Just it might not be me driving.
Look, just so you know, you can't believe anything me and Jack say because we love to stir something up.
Yeah.
Well, if you got any sponsors or any people you want to thank, give them a shout out, and we'll catch up with you sometime later, Josh.
All right, yeah, definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it, Langley, for having us out there. Sponsors P2R. I got NOS, Race Quip, and a few others. But yeah, definitely come out and give us some support.
Sounds good. Good luck, Josh. We'll see you, buddy.
All right, absolutely. Thank you. We'll see you.
All right, so now look, I see I got Bear in the queue there. Big Bear, he looks real big in there. See, the screen's real small. So let's bring Bear on. What's up, Bear? How you doing, man?
Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Man, it's another day in paradise. Now, I know you, and you've been around for a little while, and you're still somewhat new to the sport. But for those people that don't know who Bear is, tell them how you got involved. You may not. I don't know if you really want to tell everybody you're associated with Hunter or not, but
depends on who's watching, I think.
That's right. Oh, I love Hunter. He's a truck.
Oh, me too. That's my best friend, man.
Yeah.
It started off actually at his birthday dinner. That's where the whole conversation of racing started.
Is that right?
With Jacob Carr. He was there. He said, "Hey, man, look, I need a tire guy." I said, "I don't know anything about going left." He said, "Okay." Next night, showed up. The rest is history, dude.
Is that right? So you helped Jacob with the truck before y'all started running the carts?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yep. 2018, when he won the championship, I was actually one of his crew members. So that was a cool way to start a racing career.
Yeah. No, I would say so. So then the reason Hunter's running up front and winning is because of you.
No.
Come on, man, you ain't even gonna take credit.
No, they took that. Them boys worked work their tails off on that truck. They really do. I'm just the guy who tells them what's going on.
So how did you go from doing fires and then, you know, y'all doing some go-karts, you know, and we all kind of race together in the wing champs. And I love going over there and shooting shit with you and Hunter and those guys, to doing the spotting thing. How did that happen?
It is nowhere near as romantic as everybody thinks it is. My buddy Chris Johnson with the Modifieds, we decided we put another car together and we ran out of people who knew how to work a radio. He handed me a headset and said, "That's your car. You're going up there. Bye." And that's where I've been ever since. I mean, it was one of those things. He goes, "Man, it's going to be all right. He's going to ride around the back. It's going to be fine."
Oh, yeah, he had a ton of confidence in this guy, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, it was his first time in a real car, so it was like, okay, you know, you're not expecting him to go out and win. Just get some laps, and about lap 4, everybody decided to be clear with contact and wrecked. So we fired off after red flag in 3rd.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. I had to go sit down after that. But yeah, and then kind of just took off from there. The word got out, I guess, if you will, and at the 100-lap modified race that year, I ended up spotting for Adam Medic, Caitlin Joyner, and Hunter all in the same day, and that was when it kind of exploded into the next year of going, all right, that's what you're going to do now.
So did you like do any studying, or did this just come fairly natural to you?
It was a lot of listening. I mean, I listened to some of the greatest guys to ever do it. I mean, Patrick Fisher, I've listened to him for 3.5 years, and they were like, you know what to say, you know your time, and I mean, here.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Best spotter right there. And Brad says they're working on a truck right now, literally.
That they working on a 24-pack of Miller Lights. What they working on?
Truth be known, right?
There might be a truck. There might be a truck involved, but there's beer too.
Right, exactly. But man, Brad, I mean, Bear, I got to give you a lot of credit, man, because I mean, and I told you this. I went over after that Hunter had posted that video, which was it was so fucking funny. I loved it, especially it was like 3 wide. Goddamn! All right.
Well, I mean, it was unexpected. That's where it came from. I mean, I wasn't expecting that specific person to take it 3 wide at that time. So that's kind of why it was like, it was a sudden shock of like, all right. So, and yeah, I mean, but just is what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, to be I mean, and I told you this, I was really impressed. I mean, I truly, for somebody to, and I think it's sometimes in anything, right? Sometimes you just have a knack for it, right? And I think you're just one of those people that just has a really good knack at it. I mean, I think, and every driver likes a different personality, right? Some people don't like people to talk, and some people like me and probably Hunter, we're so damn ADD. We need somebody to keep us focused, right? You're like, you got the car in front of me. Oh, I'm looking over here. You know, I've seen a girl in 3 rows up and turn 1. You know.
That's my job.
Right. So I just think you have a good natural, ability or knack for spotting. And I give you a ton of credit because I think you really do a really good job.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that, buddy. To be new into it, to hear a veteran say that, I appreciate that. I really do.
I don't know if I'd call me a veteran.
Well, you've been around a while.
I've been around a little bit, and I have been off and on around for a long time. But I truly was very impressed with the, and the spotter's job is not an easy job. And I've done it a few times, and I think I can do a good job at it. But also, there's a lot of responsibility put on you in any spot. Jack said me either. It is a lot of responsibility to know to have the confidence to say you're clear off when you're running side by side with somebody or you're close to somebody and that kind of stuff. So Hunter said he fired Brian so Bear could spot for him. Although that might have been a little bit father-son deal, right?
That was actually a true story. I was in the truck when that happened. That was an awkward ride home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do tell there.
I mean, that's kind of what it was. It was like, you're not doing that anymore. And I was just sitting there like, oh, okay.
Did he? Now wait a minute. Did he fire him and hire you in the same truck ride, or did he tell
No,
you?
it wasn't the same truck ride. It was about 2 weeks later I got hired.
Does the gig pay well, or does he just pay you in beer?
Yes.
He said a while ago they went to Costco and got a 36-pack.
Oh, some Kirkland Light. Oh, he's drinking high on the hog tonight.
So he's good till about 9 o'clock, and then he's going to need him to make another run.
7-Eleven's not too far.
So now, have you thought about doing this for a living? I mean, I mean, knowing you, I think this is something that I could just see in the back of your mind.
My goal, realistically, I understand I'm not going to be one of the 38 on top of the stand on Sunday without an incredible amount of luck. It's a numbers game. I get it. I want, in the next 3 years, I want to have spotted a truck race. That is my goal, realistic, obtainable, but also understanding an incredible amount of luck and a lot more skill is going to happen before I get there. Yeah,
and I can tell you that spotter stand at the top of the thing is a click, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's one at the local level too.
Yes and no, but I mean, when you get up to the cup level, it is a click, and if you're not in the click, you are not going to make it up there because they are not going to allow you. If you're not getting paid a good salary to spot up there, they're going to run you off the stand because they have a tight-knit click up there. I mean, look at Anthony Warren. Look how long he's been doing it for big teams, little teams. And, I mean, and this is a really good side gig for Anthony, right? And he hasn't gotten the job, right? I mean, there's a few people that get little small jobs here, but that it's a tough deal to try to get up there.
Oh, absolutely. I was like last year when I spotted the tour race, the Whalen tour race, I got Jesse Vaughn actually reached out to me for that. Was like, hey, somebody's looking. I was standing up there. I was like, I'm the only one up here that I know. This is weird.
So what was that nervous when you got that call?
It wasn't really nervous. There was one guy who made me nervous that day, and he wasn't a tour driver. It was Jimmy Atkins. When he goes, dude, they're doing 14-second laps around here. I was like, I was fine until you told me that. Thanks, Jimmy.
You never know if he's like, Hunter, you can't believe anything Jimmy tells you either.
Well, I mean, I knew they were going fast, but I didn't look at Race Monitor for various reasons, and I was like, okay.
Jack said you would fit up there with Fat Boy and Bart Call and Warren and Josh Williams. The big guys, or some of the big guys up there in the spotter stand in the Cup Series. What's up, Donald Brown? Where to spot for the Hampton Heat for the first time? That was actually going to be my next question. Are you spotting this weekend?
I'm slated to spot this weekend, and I'm honestly very nervous about it.
Can you say who, or do you not want to say?
Terry Carroll.
Terry Carroll, okay.
Yep.
And why are you nervous? Because this is just a big race.
I mean, look at the prestige around this whole thing. It's like, I don't know. It's very odd. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't feel like I've earned it yet.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could say that you have earned it yet. From what I have heard you spot, you have the ability to, and that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter whether you've earned it or not. Somebody asked you, so that means something.
Oh, absolutely. He actually
they didn't ask me.
Well, I mean, you can't have celebrities work at the biggest race of the year.
And Nate says you'll be fine. Man, you'll. I have 100% confidence that you'll do a great job.
Thank you.
And Bo says if you're up there, you have earned it, and that's a true statement. So are you going on Friday and working?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay.
I haven't planned ahead, so if I'm needed Friday, I haven't been told about it.
Okay. What do you do during the week, Baird? What do you do for a living?
I'm a parts guy. I'm the guy you call that you hate to call.
So who do you work for?
Alliance Material. We specialize in forklifts.
Okay.
Yep.
And Jack
So what else? What else you want to ask me, Scott? I know it's an open book now. Now that we're on the public forum here.
Well, it always. I mean, there's nothing scripted here. I mean, we have some people who are like, "Do you have a list of the questions you're going to answer?" And we're like, "No, because we don't know what it's going to be yet." And we try to make this an open forum because, look, there's a. Me and Jack are not professionals, right? And I think we want the raw ability because sometimes we even. When we do have somebody come in and they're there before the show starts, sometimes we'll start to talk and then we got to stop. Because you lose that, when you hear something new, expression that if you already know it, then you forget to ask it later when it could be important on the show. Right. So
right.
Where we try to be honest and raw as possible. We try to, who will be the one driver at the top level you would want to spot for?
Ooh, at the top?
Yes, what it sounds like.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's such an I don't know. I guess you'd say unobtainable thought. I've never really thought about it. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back. Give me a second to think about that one.
All right, and think about that one. And Hunter says, ask him how we met. How did you guys meet? Because this must be a story.
Oh, alcohol.
Why am I not surprised?
I think you think we drink too much, Scott.
Well, I mean, he did say he went got a 36 pack, and then
he just wanted to make sure he didn't run out.
It goes back to the alcohol.
Oh, how did we meet?
So y'all didn't go to school together or anything?
No, sir. I didn't know Hunter till 2015 or 16. It was like the year after he came back from Carolina we met. It was definitely an alcohol-related thing, though. I know that for sure.
That I'm not surprised about. All right, we got a couple of questions here, Barry. You're popular, man.
Oh, Lord.
Says, Greer wants to know, have you ever spotted and your radio goes dead?
Yes, that is a helpless feeling.
Isn't it?
So, I don't know what drowning feels like, but it's got to be close to that.
So what happened? How did you
they figured out that I didn't have a radio on pit road, and they basically told him, if it gets hairy, we'll tell you, but dude, you're on your own.
Was that Hunter?
No, that was actually Josh Crabtree. That was actually a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Jack says Ross Chastain would be somebody he would want to stop for.
I see. No, I have to deal with an even keel driver, and he's too far extreme one or the other. He either wants to be your buddy or he wants to run you over. I'm like, dude, pick in between.
Now, what do you like? Now, are you the kind of even kill guy, or are you the guy? Hey, we got in a wreck. I'm going down there with you, and we're going.
I'm the. We are going to play nice until you start it, and then we're going to finish it.
There you go. Oh, I like it there.
I mean, that's how it is. There's no reason to do certain things, and if you do it, you're going to get it back.
Stephanie said she had to run a radio up to you before a race one time.
Yeah, that was that might have been my fault too.
But then Andrew says, "What's the toughest division to spot for at Langley Speedway?"
Oh, depends on the night, honestly. Now, limited late models are the hardest because them boys will run side by side, 4 and 5 cars deep. That one's interesting.
That's been a great class, right? I mean, it's been so entertaining. It's fun to watch these new kids coming along and putting a hell of a show on, and the old timers are in the back of the field.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's been really for me as a kind of older in the group, right? That's been fun to watch, to see these new kids come in, and well, they're not. Most of them are not new kids, right? Because their families in it, and so you would suspect that some of those would be coming in or be in the sport. I mean, we do have to get, and maybe this is a good question because you're kind of the newer generation, right, Bear? So what?
Mhm.
How do we get the younger generation involved? I mean, that's kind of the $1 million question.
That's a difficult question because, like, at the Langley level, you do exactly what you did. $15,000 race car, turnkey. Here you go. Okay, it doesn't require a lot. I'm not saying they don't require a lot of work, but as opposed to late model or modified or something like that, it's a sporty race car. It looks like a race car. It sounds like a race car, and I can afford to go buy one. I mean, that's why the class blew up like it did, because everybody could afford to go do it. You don't have to spend $100,000 to go out and be competitive.
Yeah. Now, I guess Hunter is the reason you kind of got involved, right? Or
With
Jacob, right? So
with what?
Getting involved at Langley Speedway. So was it Jacob or did you meet Hunter and that's kind of how you got?
It was Hunter. Hunter's dad. Every time we hung out, he talked about it, so it really like piqued my interest. We kind of got to talking about it, like that might be something we do one day. Hunter got hooked up with Caseman, Natural Progression. It became what it became. And Jacob's crew chief at the time, I can't not have this interview, not give him a shout out, because he took me under his wing. That was Rich Burgess. He took me under his wing. It was like, you're my student.
Okay, I didn't know Rich was his crew chief then.
Yeah,
I don't know why I would be surprised. And it's funny because I've ran into Rich a few times and he's reached out to me a few times, but I never really got to see him that much around the racetrack, even though he's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I guess now, is he still with, what's his name? And are they doing some truck races and stuff this year? Or
Ryan Huff? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't.
It just dawned on me. I don't know that I've seen much going on with them. So I was curious.
Yeah, I haven't seen or heard anything from them.
Yeah. Well, Bear, I appreciate it, man. This has been fun, and we'll have to get you back on sometime. You got any spot? And I want a shirt. So when you get an extra large,
that's why I'm kind of glad we didn't do this in person, because I knew you and Jack would give me a hard time about not bringing a shirt.
We would never give anybody a hard time, Bear.
Jack gave me a hard time in the elevator last week. What do you mean?
Did he touch you inappropriately?
No.
See, this is fun. See, because Jack can't defend himself. I can just talk all the stuff I want about Jack.
Yeah, the caps lock comments aren't as scary.
Right. Taylor says she has a shirt. She
does. She's on the shirt.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Because she probably got you some tumblers. You know, everything in the world is backordered, right? You can't get anything. They got plenty of tumblers.
Well, I mean, you got to be in the loop on that kind of thing.
Well, that's true. She says her logo is actually on the shirt. Oh, that's a cool deal. Well, that's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, but Bear, I'm excited for you, man. I'm kind of proud of you, even though we're not the, I would say, you and Hunter's closest friends, but I'm still kind of proud of you, seeing you come along in the go-karts and doing the spotting and listen to it the other. I was very impressed, and I'm proud of you. And I just want to say it and tell you, and good luck to you, man.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, buddy.
You got any sponsors? You got any Bear sponsors you want to thank? Or
I wouldn't call them sponsors, but my partners: Hunter WALTRIP Racing, T&D Designs, Chris Johnson Performance, and FK Racing.
All right, man. Well, good luck this weekend. I'll see you at the racetrack sometime this weekend. I'll be there. And
I'll be in the elevator.
I know where the cold beer's at. I know it's gonna be close.
Yeah. Hey, which suite are you gonna be in? I might need to come get a drink.
Well, I don't know. They don't have any free drinks. We're in the officials booth. We don't
y'all got a cooler in there somewhere.
Well, there's a refrigerator in there, but it ain't nothing in there unless you bring it in there.
Well, I'm gonna run out by the time I come down.
Well, all right, Barry, man. Well, good luck this weekend, man, and we'll see you this weekend. And congratulations, buddy.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thanks for having me, bud.
No problem. See you, buddy.
Yep, bye.
Man, man, I really can't say enough about Barry. I mean, he's one of the young people coming into the sport. Him and Hunter, they're a great contribution to the sport. They're exciting to watch. Hunter's fast, and Bear's all. I mean, he's kind of his right hand man, and it's great to see these new faces and people and doing well. And Bear, I mean, and I say it again, I was super impressed with the video with Bear, how well he done, and then how him and Hunter interact on the radio was super fun to listen to. And with that, man, it's a show here. I see Jack's been commenting, and buddy, I hope you're feeling better. I know you were tired when I talked to you last night, and hope you get home tomorrow, and don't push it. And I want to say hopefully you'll see you this weekend, but I don't know if they should or should not. So don't tell your wife that I suggested it. With that, man, we want to thank everybody. Like and share our shows. We appreciate it. I'm sure Jack will be back next week, and we will see you Tuesday. We appreciate it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you Saturday, right? Hampton Heat, man. Who's going to dethrone Connor Hall? We'll see. Thanks, guys. See you Saturday.